Okay, today we're going to do a little light up of an Optimus 8R. This is a camp stove. This one obviously used, and I got this from a pawn shop when I was visiting relatives up in Montana. And it's a pretty cool stove because you basically just you fill it with white gas. It is a white gas stove, and it does says right here for gasoline. I believe that's what it says. Yep, they just pasted on two lines, so for gasoline. So anyway, so this is the 8R, and yeah, so I've had this one for a number of years, and just kind of wanted to show you how it operates and how we get it to go. So it's pretty neat. It's all completely self-contained. It's got a little wrench in here that you can use. You can see it's I haven't really done anything to it. It's just kind of opened it up here and figured like we'd get this thing to take off. So step number one is getting this out of here so it doesn't give us too much trouble. And then this just basically slides right out. Actually, I need to kind of make sure that this is on where it's supposed to be. It's a little heat shield for the tank, and it is very, it's got a lot of carbon on it from the last use. So I'm gonna move this up so it sits on the little spot where it's supposed to sit. There you go. And then just kind of rests right there. You know, I have not used this in a long time, so we're gonna see that if I can even get this thing open. So yeah, it's been a very long time since I've actually fired this up. And I think I need to get a pair of pliers. All right, now we got these vice grips. They may be a little bit small though. I don't want to mess it up any more than I have to. So we'll use a little bit of this on there so we don't mar it up, and then just open the jaws up. So we should be able to get this open. So without too much trouble. It's pretty close. Yeah, I took this on that so-called camping with guns when we were supposed to be hunting, but actually didn't get anything. So there we go. It wasn't actually all that tight. I just hope the seal is functional. I guess we will find out if it leaks or not, and because that will probably let us know in pretty significant fashion. So hopefully it still has a little bit of spring left to it. Oh yeah, it's got some spring. I don't know what size this would be to replace. It does look like I could maybe, I don't know if a Coleman one will fit in there or not, but since it still has some rubbery qualities to it, I'm not going to mess with it. And we're just gonna hope for the best. So I've got some white gas here, and we're just gonna fill this up. Some of you may be wondering why exactly I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt in the summer and, you know, sweating like crazy. Well, had to do yard work today. It's very hot here in Texas. Probably, let's see, the heat index earlier was like 126, and the air temperature was 95. Humidity is, well, I don't know what the actual humidity is, but the dew point was like 82, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So, oh, yeah, that is way plenty because now I've made a big mess. So we're gonna have to kind of pour a little bit of this off here. And there's a giant puddle of white gas now. Yeah, it doesn't take much, so yeah, we definitely don't want to ignite this because that will make for a very flammable situation. Right, so let's just set this aside. From a cap here. I'm just gonna mop this up and then put the rag elsewhere. At least this will be good for cleaning the surface. Yeah, so this is something I've actually run into before. I've done this before, absolutely. And last time I did it, I didn't realize that I had got the gas under the tank here, but you'll probably see some of it dripping out. So we're going to kind of shake that out of here because we don't want to have excess fuel, because since this is a roar type burner, and you'll notice there's no pump for this. So you don't pump it. You basically preheat it like a kerosene lantern, and then it builds pressure in the tank as it conducts heat back here, and it just kind of self-pressurizes. So I'm going to throw this way over there. So that should be fine. We're going to take this and we're going to apply a little bit of torque on it because I'm not sure how tight I got it with my hands, but we're just going to make sure that we get it tight so it doesn't leak. So that's pretty snug. So in the past, what I've done is I've used white gas to preheat it, but I don't really recommend that because you really want to use something like rubbing alcohol or similar. And I'm going to take this out of here just to make it easier to fill the little preheater cup. And yeah, I am just sweating like a beast. So yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to get a fan in here because obviously there's no air conditioning in the shed. And so anyway, so this looks pretty dry now, so I think we're probably safe to go. But just so you can actually kind of see how this setup works, there's the preheater cup down here at the bottom. And then this is where the valve goes in, and this whole thing just kind of slides in and out just like that, right? So, going to do that. We're going to get a little bit of the alcohol here. And we're going to fill this preheat cup like that. Of course, spill some, and that makes for a bit of a mess. I'll put this on so I don't have to try to struggle to get it on while it's running. And then we will go ahead and make sure that the valve here is closed, which it is, and it opens and closes. That's all good. Now hopefully this will decide to work. It does not. Harbor Freight tools, man. Well, this may be a bit overkill, but we're just going to go ahead and light it up with this. So, there we go. So it is going. And we'll just let it go for a little bit here. And hopefully we'll get some good results. And hopefully the gasket isn't leaking, because I think that is a definite possibility, but we'll just see how it goes. So anyway, so it's just kind of going along here, and I'm just kind of watching the alcohol slowly burn off. See how this starts to work here. Can hear some fuel flow. We just may be in a, hopefully it's going to go. If not, then we're going to have to figure out what to do with the gasket. Certainly feels hot enough. There we go. Relight it because it went out. There it goes. Yeah, when I moved the knob, I think I dislodged something and then it plugged it up, and then so yeah, it's when you have it all the way open, it puts the needle up in there, and then you can put it right out like that. So we're just gonna let this go for a minute and get itself to heat up some. I'm gonna try to carefully not shut it off again. But that is kind of it. It's puts out a lot of heat, and as you can see from me sweating here, it's not like I need a whole lot of heat. The biggest problem I would have here would be trying to run a fan in here, we'd get too much fan noise. So I don't know. I just have to figure out something else to work with it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's looking pretty good. See what happens when I go here. Not too much. Yeah. So it doesn't have like massive heat output, but it definitely is good enough to boil water for coffee or for soup or you know, any other single small pot cooking. Yeah, because plenty of heat there for sure. And that's it. So that's the Optimus 8R. I definitely, this is something you definitely want to light with the alcohol, because you don't get anywhere near as much black smoke as you'd get when you're using like the Coleman fuel. And of course the Coleman fuel is also quite a bit more, it burns a whole lot faster and a whole lot more violently, so that's something you may not want to be getting into. But yeah, so it's a neat little stove. I really like it, and it's really small. So that is pretty much it for this one. It's just kind of a short, quick little light up. I've got some other Primus stoves over there. I know I've done one before. I've got a bigger one, and then I've got another one that I'm going to work on. So it needs to have the pump cylinder pulled out. So anyway, that is the white gas fueled Optimus 8R, and a great little tiny backpacking stove. Everything folds up in its own little clamshell, and you can make your cup of tea pretty much anywhere around the world that you can get fuel for it. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time, and until then, keep them lit.